Everybody. Been a while, but kind of want to start off with an apology. There have been some people who've subscribed to my channel, and I usually like to, send a return sub and just a little comment thanking for the subscription, but I haven't been doing that lately, and it's partly because of sheer laziness, and partly because when I see that, I see it in my email inbox that pops up, and I always think, well, I'll do that in a little bit, and then I forget. So if I have not yet replied to your subscription, sorry, and thank you for the subscription. So I'm out here with my Savinelli church warden. And smoking Hiland Cigars Black Gold, which is something that anybody who follows, anyone who's subscribed to Bold O'Donohue or Pipe Pastor has heard of Black Gold. And Pipe Pastor in particular is very, he really touts the overall smokability of it, if that's a word. And I have to agree, it's a very good blend. When I opened up the box, it was in a giant Ziploc bag, the smallest that you can order of Hiland Cigars bulk tobaccos is a half pound, and so I ordered a half pound. I could have ordered the sampler, I guess, but whatever. So I ordered the half pound of Black Gold, and as soon as I opened the box and took out the Ziploc bag, there's just this really great aroma of chocolate. And I know it's been described as baked brownies, smelling and tasting like that, and there's definitely a chocolate aroma when you open the bag. Now, as for the taste, I don't know. I haven't. I've only had just a few bowls of this so far, and this is actually my second of the day. I had a pipe out at the park earlier, and was smoking some Black Gold then too. I seem to get a little more vanilla, but then there's something else under that I'm not really able to identify just yet. But the more I smoke it, it seems the more I can pick out the flavors. Now, one thing that I'll say about it, it's a really good one if you like to puff a lot, and I do. I love tobaccos that let me just put out these great plumes of smoke, and Black Gold is, this. I emptied it all into a big jar, with a little latch and seal on it, and it's a very moist tobacco. Although I don't know how much of that is actual, the moisture that any fresh tobacco would have, or if it's just it's a Black Cavendish, and in my experience, Black Cavendish is typically very moist tobacco. And but so it's very moist, fresh out of the jar. I've loaded it into 2 pipes today, this being the second, and even as moist as that tobacco is, it doesn't bite. I mean, and I push it, and I mean, eventually it'll start to heat up, and I'll relax it a little bit, but this has not bitten me yet. So, which is strange because something is heavily, I mean, I'd say it's probably pretty heavily cased. I mean, when you open up the jar and it just smells like a jar full of chocolate, then you know that's a lot of casing. It's a pretty heavy. I mean, it's not a heavy aromatic still though. I mean, it doesn't get cloying. It's still it stays pleasant and mild. So I don't know how they do it. It's funny. You would figure that with all that casing on it, then it would bite like hell, but because North Sea, which is one of my favorites from Tinderbox, really delicious tobacco, but even if you keep a pretty relaxed pace, it can still get a little bitey. I mean, not like tongue scorching, but there's gonna be just a slight sting, like like eating mild peppers or something, I guess. But it's always gonna be there, and but not so with this. But yeah, I like it. Black gold. And but yeah, so I'll say a thanks to the pipe pastor for insisting everybody smoke it and for singing its praises. Thank you very much. It's definitely one that I'll, once my half pound runs out in about a year, I'll probably order some more. Or if the tax increase actually goes through, I may end up ordering another pound of it before too long, because this is definitely one that I want to have stocked up on. I'm talking too much, but I'd like one of the reasons that I've been smoking the Church Warden more lately, and one of the reasons is I've got back into a kind of Lord of the Rings mood. So I don't know, I got kind of excited about the Hobbit coming out next year, and so I went back and reread The Hobbit, which I have not read in about 10 years. It was a pretty good while ago, the last time I read The Hobbit. Actually, I read The Hobbit back in 2001. So yeah, it's been about 10 years. I remember specifically that I started reading it when the first film came out, so 2001. And I've read The Lord of the Rings, people call it a trilogy, but technically it's one volume. It's one book, 3 volumes, not an actual trilogy. But I read The Lord of the Rings a couple times in high school and college. Almost made it through 3 times, but I don't know, Sam and Frodo's time in Mordor to me just goes on for so long that I don't know, that 3rd time I was done. But it's been probably a good 6 years, 6 or 7, since I last read Lord of the Rings, and decided, well, reading The Hobbit got me into a Tolkien mood, so figured, what the hell, go back and reread Lord of the Rings, or try to reread Lord of the Rings for a 4th time. Anyway, running out of time, so you guys take it easy and happy trails.